Hello friends, it is Patrick here. It is early April. We are sort of in the fourth inning of spring market. So lots of activity out there, lots of discussions, lots of confusion. We're seeing pricing is a bit confusing right now. We're seeing houses priced here, sell here, and then the one down the street is priced here and it sells here. So it's tough to make sense of that. That's one of the big points of frustration we're seeing out there right now. But one thing that has changed is the supply has changed drastically. We're not there yet. We still need a couple more months like we had in March in order to offset this demand. Case in point, in March, the number of new listings for all of Niagara were about 50% higher than the average over the last 10 years. Meanwhile, January was 15% under, February was under as well. And so there's still a lot of steam on that pot. The only way to take that steam down is to throw more listings at it, right? So we need another April and May to behave similar to March in order to see this offset, this pent-up demand. But we're getting there. It is happening. St. Catharines even more so. St. Catharines, 380 new listings in March of 2021. That was 32% higher than the 10-year average. January, though, was 24% below, and February was 11% below. So we went from 24% off to 11% off to 32% above. Meanwhile, the number of sales absolutely destroyed previous records, even against March 2017, which was the previous heavyweight champion of the world as far as real estate data in Niagara went. March 2021 just absolutely pummeled it and knocked it out. So, for example, Q1 of 2017, the highest number of sales on record for St. Catharines, but in the last 12 years anyway, 616 sales. That was 12% higher than the previous record, which was in 2017. So big numbers getting posted in March, both on the supply side and the demand side. But we really need to see that listing, the new inventory improve and do that for another month or two in order to, again, to offset this pent up, because we are still seeing multiple offers. For around 5 or 6 weeks in a row, the average sale price in St. Catharines was around 110% of asking across the board, week after week after week. So until we start to see that come back down to 107, 106, 105, God forbid 104, until we see that happen, there's still a lot of bubble on that pot. So we're not there yet, but March 2021 was an enormous step forward. We'll see what April does. But there's lots of things happening, right? We're in another COVID shutdown. What will that do with inventory? Because if anything, we saw it before, where inventory came back or slowed down, but demand kept going, right? So we're hoping we don't see that happen again during this shutdown. We will see, but we're really, fingers crossed, hoping to see April behave similar to March in terms of the number of new listings and inventory. Below this video, provided this on YouTube, there'll be some links to some previous posts, blogs, that sort of thing that we've done. It'll give you a quick snapshot of the market. But in general, where we're at right now, that's the supply and demand. It has shifted. It has improved. It's not there yet, but is on track. I mentioned pricing at the beginning of this video. Pricing in Niagara across the board, every municipality aside from Welland, every municipality is now above $600,000 year-to-date average sale price. Welland, $554,000. And we have St. Catharines, Thorold, Niagara Falls, Fort Erie, Port Colborne, all in the 600s. Generally in the low 600s, 615 to 635, 640. You have Fonthill, Lincoln, Vineland, Jordan, and Grimsby, all in the 800s. And then our friend Niagara-on-the-Lake is up at the 1.1 million range year to date. The number of homes sold over $1 million so far this year is absolutely destroying all previous records. 2 years ago, 2019, there was about 179 sales over $1 million. Last year, there was 430 something sales over $1 million. This year, there's an outside chance that 2021 could hit 1,000 sales over $1 million. That would account for about 12-13% of all sales across the board. Put that in context, about 9 years ago, there was about 25 sales for the whole year over $1 million. So that end of the market, A, has absolutely exploded in terms of volume. And then also B, it's also pulling up those averages. So when I talk about St. Catharines being 640 and Fonthill being 880 or whatever it was, Fonthill 876, pretty close. A good chunk of that is because that upper end of the market that previously didn't exist has really exploded, and it's pulling everything along with it. So the market right now is interesting. It's always interesting, but right now it's hyper interesting. So we are keeping tabs on it. If you want to keep extra tabs on it, that's our website. Isn't it pretty? THEbTEAM.ca. On the home page, you'll see a Market Insight button. Click on it. It's going to bring you to year-to-date numbers for Niagara region, and then all of the municipalities there. Average sale price, number of sales, number of new listings, year, percentage changes, all that kind of good stuff. That gets updated as we go, so that will continue to evolve as we go through the year. Book market, that's what all the cool kids are doing. And yeah, you can keep tabs of things there, but of course you can always reach out to us. We are here to help. We're here to chat anytime. We look forward to hearing from you, whether you're curious on a neighborhood, a particular city in Niagara, your home, your area, whatever it is. We just put the information in front of you. What you do with it is totally up to you. We're happy to help and have those conversations. Okay, that's a wrap. I think that might be close to my fastest video I've ever done. It's no 3-minute job, but it's 6 minutes. Yeah, I should have stopped 30 seconds ago. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me. Any questions, reach out. Take care. Be well. Talk to you. Bye.